I'm William Bonilla. It's a pleasure to sponsor the 1997 Tejano Music Awards. I want to take a moment to give credit to all of the talented men and women who have strived to present a positive image to the world of our rich Hispanic culture. We at the law offices of Bonilla and Berlanga are proud of what these composers, artists, and musicians have accomplished.
The law offices of William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future.
Hi, I'm Scott Ogle with William Bonilla's office. We are proud to host this year's 17th Annual Tejano Music Awards, featuring the country's finest Tejano singers. We at the law offices of William Bonilla are here for you. If you have a legal problem, such as a result of a personal injury, divorce, debt consolidation, or business-related matter, come by our offices for a free consultation.
The law offices of William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future.
At Bonilla and Berlanga, we're proud of South Texas, its culture, and its people. I'm Jim Perschbach with the law offices of William Bonilla, and it's great to be associated with the Tejano Music Awards. To find the entire nation finally giving the credit that is due to those many people who've worked so hard to bring the beauty and culture of our South Texas communities. Thank you to all the participants, and congratulations to the winners. You've done us all proud.
The law offices of William D. Bonilla, attorney.
I'm Rick Nielsen. I work with the law offices of William D. Bonilla. I'm proud to be a part of the sponsorship of these 1997 Tejano Music Awards. My experience with William Bonilla has helped me develop a great appreciation for the Hispanic culture. I want to congratulate each and every participant and honoree of these awards. Thank you.
The law offices of William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. Railroads have been a part of South Texas since the Corpus Christi, San Diego, and Rio Grande narrow gauge was started in the nation's centennial year, 1876. Rails connected Corpus Christi to Mexico, took South Texas crops and cattle to market, served the port, and brought tourists aboard a train called the Davy Crockett. Today, South Texas railroads are being upgraded for increased international traffic. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, reaching into the past while looking towards the future. The town of Odom, Texas started when the St. Louis, Brownsville, and Mexico Railroad built its tracks through the areas in the early years of the century, and families began moving near the tracks from other small scattered communities. There was a flag station named Donphan. Then David Odom had land surveyed for a town site and donated the land for the first door and post office in 1909. The post office and the town were officially named Odom. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. Corpus Christi Naval Air Station was built as a temporary base as the threat of World War II loomed. It was in place when sailors heard the news of Pearl Harbor. After the war, many bases around the country were closed and abandoned, but Corpus Christi citizens mounted a campaign to keep the Navy. The Navy designated Corpus Christi as a permanent base in 1948, and with Navy O&R, the base grew to employ 4,000 South Texas civilians. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. Crosley Elementary, named for a pioneer in South Texas education. C.W. Crosley, a native of England and a one-time baseball player for the Red Sox, was named superintendent of the two Corpus Christi schools existing in 1889. He started the first high school. His goal, Corpus Christi schools that could produce a student who would be accepted at any college in the country. C.W. Crosley, Corpus Christi's first leader of quality education. This educational message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, reaching into the past while looking towards the future. Rockport and Fulton were called the Chicago of the South in 1870 because they had so many packeries. Texas cattle had run wild during the Civil War. Over 1 million head were slaughtered at the packeries for their hides, horns, and tallow, which could be shipped at a profit. There was little demand for the meat, which could be had for the taking. Cattle money built the Fulton Mansion. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. Aransas Pass grew up as a town after a land lottery went wrong. T.B. Wheeler and promoters called their plan an auction. Townside buyers would get a chance on the Bayview Hotel, a 4-story resort. Postal inspectors upset what they called an illegal lottery by pushing the bidding price up. The hotel had to be sold instead of being a prize. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. For $300, Colonel Kinney sold Nueces County the land where the old courthouse is located. That courthouse was built in 1914 at a cost of $250,000. During the 1919 hurricane, it was a refuge for hundreds. William Bonilla practiced law in the old courthouse from 1953 to 1977, and in the present courthouse since then. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. The hero of the Mexican Cinco de Mayo was a native of what is now Goliad, Texas. Ignacio Zaragoza lived as a boy just outside the walls of Presidio La Bahia. When Texas became independent, the Zaragoza family moved south so they could remain Mexican citizens. Zaragoza grew up to be a general and led Mexican forces at the Battle of Puebla, saving Mexico from a French attempt to take over their country. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. When Alice, Texas grew up around the largest inland cattle shipping point in the world, a Texas Ranger Frontier Battalion helped keep the peace. An Alice boy who was friends with the battalion grew up to be a Texas Ranger himself. Daniel Hinojosa had a 20-year career as a Texas Ranger. Hinojosa is remembered in the Ranger Hall of Fame and at the South Texas Museum in Alice. This historic message was brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future. Just as Alice, Texas was getting going, it almost died. Alice was a growing town in 1910, and it was part of Nueces County. Alice area residents wanted their own county and got it in 1911. But that same year, a huge fire destroyed half of downtown Alice. Alice rebuilt, and the cornerstone of the Jim Wells County Courthouse was laid the next year. This historic message is brought to you by William D. Bonilla, attorney, reaching into the past while looking toward the future.